See, Gabe Iglesias is amazing. Hi, Jackie Fabulous.
Hi, you scared me. That was so fast.
That was fast because I saw you. This is
Hi.
Jackie Fabulous. You guys saw Jackie Fabulous on America's Got Talent, and you almost got close to winning.
Semi-finalist. I don't know if that's close. It's close enough.
A semifinalist is close to winning. That means you were half of a finalist.
I was. When you know what's funny? I tell people a funny story about Mr. Iglesias and you. Because for y'all watching this, me and Sherri, mostly Sherri, but I audition for a lot of stuff. And Sherri's in the same category. It's always me, Sherri, Yvette Nicole Brown, Kim Whitley, Retta. We're like in the same circle of plus size funny chicks.
Yep.
And I auditioned for Mr. Iglesias, and we had shows together at the Comedy Union. And you and I were talking after your set, and you were like, I gotta fly out tomorrow. I'm shooting Mr. Iglesias. And I was like, so you're the one that got the part? And you were like, oh, I'm sorry. This is not a good way for you to find out.
That's the problem when all of your girlfriends audition for the same part. That's the problem. So it's like you don't want to not tell anybody anything because we share so much.
Yeah.
And you do. And here's the thing. We all believe that what's for us is for us, but still you be wanting a part.
Yeah.
Like, we don't audition for stuff just to go, well, if somebody else get it, it's okay. We audition for stuff to book the job because number one, we need that money.
Yeah. You don't know.
I'm not gonna lie.
It was so funny. You were like, and your face dropped down like, oh, my bad. That's not a good way for you to find out. And I was like, it hurts, but it's you, so it's cool.
It's so funny because that happens so much. Like literally, I don't know if you auditioned for Girls Trip. But,
no, I didn't.
Okay, so I auditioned for Girls Trip and had many, many callbacks. Like I had a lot of callbacks.
Nice.
I had a lot of meetings with the producers.
Oh.
Like I was on hold for Girls Trip.
Ooh, a lot going on.
I was on hold so much that like there's a certain part when you get put on hold where you kind of feel okay about counting the money that you think you're gonna make.
Yeah.
And at the time, Jackie, I was going through it. I needed that money. I was going through this divorce. And I was like, I felt like Girls Trip would completely reignite my career. I felt whoever got that role of the funny girl, it was going to either reignite their career or it was going to make them a star. Either way, that was a role. Girls Trip was going to do it. And so
guess what?
I remember, let me tell you, I was on hold. Issa Rae was on hold. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm missing another actress on hold for the same part. And so I remember calling Will Packer because if I booked Girls Trip, I was trying to move to LA. That meant that I would have to leave everything, come to LA and move later from Jersey. So I called up Will Packer and I said, Will, you got to let me know what's going on with Girls Trip because everything is a standstill. Yeah. And I'm packing. And he got back to me because before he was like, you're still on hold. He was like, this is what he says. He goes,
oh, I feel it. I can feel it in my gut.
He goes, Sherri, we love you.
And whenever they always start off with, we love you.
Whenever you hear that, Jackie, you don't love me. You just saying that. He goes, we love you. He goes, we're going to go younger. That's what he said. He said, we're going to go younger for Girls Trip. And I was just like, okay. And I said, here's the thing. Like, I can take acting direction. You can tell me if you want it big, broad, brought down, more improv, but I can't change the way I look.
Yeah.
Like, I look the way I look. You can put my hair in pigtails. I'm going to look this way.
Yeah.
If I don't have this wig on, I'm going to look that way.
Yeah.
So it was such a trip because I was devastated. Because when you really want something, Jackie, I was devastated because I knew, I was like, I don't know who getting that part. I said to Will, I don't know who y'all going with, who y'all decide to go with that's younger.
Yeah.
But they're going to be either their career will be reignited or they're going to be a star. And Tiffany Haddish got it. I say that was Tiffany's blessing all the time. It wasn't my blessing. It was for Tiffany. And it just is such a trip because that was the rope. She was on the billboards, but you didn't know who she was. So you really wasn't paying no attention to her. It was only when you went to that movie theater that
Yeah.
you was like,
damn.
So that was the part to Tiffany Haddish, and look what it did to her career.
I know. You know, the one that I really wanted, and mind you, I had no way of thinking I would get it, but I don't know her name, but she's an amazing actress. The black girl in Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, you're talking about, I auditioned for that too.
I auditioned for, and I thought I gave a good audition, and I called and text Arsenio. I'm like, who I know that know Eddie? I'm like, Ray Murphy. I'm like, whoever knows him, please.
And this role, Jackie, for the people who don't know, I forget her name, but she's amazing.
She's amazing.
She's a Broadway girl. She's a Broadway actress. This is a role in Dolomite playing his sidekick. Her name was Queen.
Yeah, she's formally trained.
She's formally trained from Broadway, but the role, her name is Queen B. That was her the nickname that she had, and she actually did duet albums with Dolomite, the comedian that Eddie Murphy played. And I believe that Lil' Kim took her name from this woman, and she was very blue. Her material was really blue.
Yeah.
And did you listen to some of her stuff that she has with Dolomite?
No, I saw. Yeah, I did. I YouTubed it to research the roles. I saw.
Did you listen to Romeo and Juliet?
No, I don't remember that one.
Look up Romeo and Juliet. That's the nastiest stuff, but it's funny.
Really?
Yes, and they did it together. And so this was a role that every Black actress in Hollywood auditioned for on Dolomite.
Yeah.
And that's another one. I was in Canada, Jackie, and I had to put my audition on tape. Kristen Chenoweth taped me my audition. And I was dressed as my homely character in Trial and Error. But I wanted that part so bad. And when they said, but it wasn't, I don't do well with auditions on the cell phone. If I come in the room, I feel better. But when they said, I said, if a comic get this, because I thought it was either going to be like Linnell or Leslie Jones, or I didn't know if they had written it for them. Yeah. And I said, I'm not going to be able to watch this movie because I wanted it so bad. Yeah. And that's how you felt, because it was such a great role.
There's a lot of things that I'm ashamed to say that I have not been able to watch because I didn't book it. Am I evil? I thought I was the only one.
I don't watch Dancing with the Stars anymore. I can't. I don't watch Dancing with the Stars anymore because literally I love being on that show so much. And and being voted off, it hurts so badly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it wasn't all the way on the up and up. There was a certain lady at The View who created The View that wanted me back at the table.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So it was kind of conveniently, I got voted off just because I had to go back to work, because there was a certain lady who created The View. When I got back to New York, devastated because I got voted off Dancing with the Stars. Anybody who knows me knows I love the salsa, I love to dance. And that next week I was working on my samba. And when
why she wanted to block your blessing? Because why?
This is what I'm gonna say. She did not Barbara Walters did not like guest co-hosts coming in. She had a groove with the people. When you're older, you don't like a lot of new stuff, transitions and all of that.
Yeah.
And Barbara Walters was older. And she was not happy with all of the guest co-hosts coming in, filling in for me. She did not like it. And so when I first asked her if I could do Dancing with the Stars, she said no. She told me no. And I said, and I kept asking her, and she said to me, I want you to say, but please, don't you think it would be great if I did Dancing with the Stars? Ask me that. You're me.
Don't you think it would be great if you did Dancing with the Stars?
Do you want this job, dear?
But why wouldn't even someone in her generation be like, any exposure additional to what you already have, wouldn't me being on that show help The View?
I don't think
they don't need help, but it would help.
I don't think she thought they needed help with the exposure. We were like the #1 talk show. So I don't think she was like, we don't need, no more exposure from you. We're fine. Because it was always with Barbara, which is different now with The View. Barbara always taught you The View is not based on one person. The View will continue with or without you. Yes. We put in 5 new people. So it wasn't that, I can help the viewers because I'm on Dance with the Stars. She liked her regular crew there. And it's a whole groove when you got somebody new coming in on your tour with you, a new opener. She didn't want all of that. So when I asked to do Dancing with the Stars, she said no. And I went above her. to the president of ABC.
Ooh!
You know what I learned? That
What?
from the end of when I got voted off Dance with the Stars, don't you ever go over Barbara Walters' head and ask for something that she told you no.
Wow.
It does not go well for you. So I went above her head, and then I did. I told the people at ABC, I said, it's a great cross promotion. Because if I'm doing Dance with the Stars, we can talk about
that's what I'm thinking.
But you don't go over Barbara Walters' head. I'm going to let you know that right now. Try that. Try that.
Well,
when I got voted off and I flew back to New York, Barbara Walters was standing, and I was devastated. Barbara Walters was standing right at that door when that car dropped me off at the View. Because, you know, when you would come off Dance with the Stars, you had to do your dance. And I was so devastated I wouldn't dance. But she was standing there, and Barbara had a thing like this where she put her hand on your face, and that's like the Godfather kiss. You know when he kissed you on the Godfather, and you you died after you got kissed?
Yeah.
She put her hand on my face like this. And she said, dear, I'm glad you got to live your dream, but you were needed at home. And she walked away.
That's some mobster shit.
No, I would never call her. Never. It wasn't a monster thing. It was
not monster, mobster. That's so
mobster. Oh,
mobster, yeah.
Oh, yes, I definitely agree with you. That was hardcore. Because Barbara was like, I told you no, but you want to go over my head? We needed you at home.
Were you a regular on? You weren't a regular on The View when this was all going down?
Yes, I was.
Really?
I have been on The View like 3 years.
You were on Dancing with the Stars that long ago?
Yeah, I was on Dancing with the Stars probably 9 years ago.
I feel like it was maybe 5 years ago.
Girl, no. Don't you see how fast time goes? Time goes by, honey, fast, girl. No, I did Dance with the Stars so long ago. Yeah.
I remember how upset you were.
I cried. And I can't watch Dancing with the Stars now. I cannot watch it because it's so painful, because I wanted to do a salsa. I go and do Latin dancing. I do samba, I do salsa, I do
say salsa again.
Huh?
Say salsa again. Salsa.
I do salsa. Look at me, I even got the accent. Bachata.
You are such a method actress. No matter what you're doing, you start to bleed whatever that job is. That's part of the problem. Let it go.
Look, when I don't get a gig and I want it really bad, I'm devastated when I don't get it. Or like with Dancing with the Stars, it hurt so much that I got voted on. I can't watch it, so I don't watch Dancing with the Stars.
You know what that reminds me of? When Kim auditions for something and doesn't get it. One time with me, she was like, I want to know who got it. And I was like, Kim, I'm like with the Lord. I'm like, Kim, whoever's meant to get it, God. She's like, I need to know who got it. And in her eyes, you can tell, because she's not always serious, but she was serious. Like, I need to know.
I don't want to know who got it. I only want to know if hey, Kelly Stewart is on here. My love, my darling, my love. I only want to know Alexa, turn it down. Alexa, she been listening to you. She turned the music down. She turned it down. Kim bought me this Alexa, and it scares me because she can hear everything I say. Hey, Kelly, I love you with the Lord. I don't want to know who got it unless it's like for a comedian would get it. Then I want to know. Like with Dolomite, we all auditioned for it. Yeah. I wanted that. And I said to myself, and that's why I say you're not bad. Because Jackie, I said to myself, if a comic get it, I'm going to crawl in the ground and not come back. I'm going to lay in the bed and just go to sleep. I cannot. If a comic gets this, and then when I found out she was a Broadway actress, I was like, whoa!
And then when I saw the movie, I was like, she was meant to get this.
Joy Divine Randolph.
Okay. Beautiful name. When I saw the movie, and when her scene came up, the one that was in the audition, I still had it memorized. I still knew all the words. And watching her do it, I was like, oh, no, she was meant to get that. Because she embodied it. She embodied it. Yeah.
And she's a Broadway trained actress. So there were things that I came at it from a comic stand-up and a kind of an actress point of view, but I'm not on the level of Joy. She's trained,
Yeah.
And so she just brought really a depth to the role that I said that was her blessing.
Yeah, it was meant for her.
When Kelly said she's from Philly, she was good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was amazing. Remember when you? I'm asking you. Remember when you had your sitcom? Were you doing the sitcom and the View at the same time?
I had a sitcom called Sherri.
I know. Were you doing the View at the same time?
Yeah, I was doing it at the same time. I did the Newlywed Game at the same time that I did the View. That was a great thing about doing the View. You could still, as long as it didn't interfere with the View, and we did the View from 9 o'clock and we were done at 12. So it was only it was only 3 hours. And then after that, like the Newlywed Game would start at 2. So I would do that from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And then my sitcom, that, you know, when I did my sitcom, that started, I went into work everybody was there at 10, but I would get there at 2, and then we do all my scenes. And so as long as it didn't interfere and Barbara didn't see you sleep, because I was so exhausted.
Of course.
You couldn't be falling asleep in front of Barbara. You would be in trouble. So as soon as when she would be gone and I'd be like this, and then she'd come and I'd be just like this. Barbara watches it and play.
You know what David Arnold told me? David said, Jackie, your time will come when all your friends are working. He's like, when Kim on the show, when Sherri on the show, when Yvette, but if they home, you're going to have a rough way to go. So whenever it's heavy audition time, I'd be like, please give these bitches a job. So that they could be like, okay, they all busy now, but Jackie Fabulous, we love her. You know, we love her, so call her.
It kind of is true, though, Jackie, because I remember when I first met Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yeah.
And I remember I met Yvette Nicole Brown at church. And the first thing she said, she was like, I'd be glad when you get a job regularly. So I could. And I laughed so hard because I didn't know Yvette Nicole Brown. I was just married to my first husband. And I was like, this girl is so funny. And darn it, the first one she booked was Girlfriends.
Yeah.
She booked Girlfriends. And then she kept she kept going, just stay busy. So it kind of is true when I look at, and that's where I look, when Regina King be busy and Viola be busy and Octavia Spencer be busy, I'm like, that's when the roles gonna be available. And now Niecy will call me because Niecy Nash is on another stratosphere.
Niecy's now on that level, yeah.
Niecy Nash is on that level. Like Robert De Niro is like, hey, Niecy, what are you doing over the summer? You know. And she'll be like, and I'll be like, who was that on the phone? She's like, girl, that was Robert De Niro.
What?
Like literally, that's how Niecy will be. Or Niecy will be, she'll say, hold on, and she'll come back. She'll be like, girl, they just offered me a all-around development deal. They want me to direct, do a talk show, do some sitcoms. And I'm like, what?
I auditioned to replace Niecy Nash when she was doing Clean House back in the day on E. I was this close, and they hired some Latina chick, and she didn't last.
Hired Debbie Gutierrez.
Yes. Was it Debbie? No,
it was
before.
Debbie.
But isn't Debbie short and plus size? Voluptuous?
They hired Debbie Gutierrez.
Before Debbie, they had some skinny chick, though. They had some slim Latina.
You know who they hired for a hot second?
Who?
The girl from The Cosby Show. Vanessa.
Sandra? Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, my God. Your memory is, I thought my memory was incredible. Your memory is sick.
No, I believe you. My memory is crap.
Yeah.
I remember certain things. But who's the girl that played Vanessa, the middle child?
We're not going to get her name. She had the afro. She had the afro.
She's married to the guy from Different World.
Okay.
The light-skinned guy.
Yeah.
They're married. Yeah, they're married. He was the light-skinned. Huh?
His name was Dwayne on the show. I don't know what his real name is. I forget. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the light-skinned. He was a high yellow one. And she married him. But the one that played Vanessa.
Yeah.
She was hired for Clean House for a hot second.
Yeah. But
then Debbie Gutierrez got Clean House for Niecy. That's so funny. And you auditioned for Clean House.
Yeah, and I several times, several tests, and I was like, look, I am a Niecy Nash light. What are we looking around for?
I remember my manager had inquired, and I said, I don't even keep my own house clean.
I can't help nobody.
But it's funny because it's so funny. My show, Sherri, my best friend was based off Niecy Nash. Because when I found out that my husband cheated, Niecy was the one that I called, who was giving me all the advice. And so when I told Niecy about it, I think she auditioned for the role. She was like, I ain't never had to audition to play me. And she didn't get it. But it's so funny watching people's careers, because for all of the people who are watching, we've known each other for so long. Yeah. And like Octavia Spencer, it's so funny, you know, just like keeping up and believing in yourself. Because Octavia used to do, like, they're called 5 and under, which is like 5 lines and under.
5 lines and under. And when I started getting auditions, I had a manager who was like, you need to get out of this 5 lines and under level to be
because when you
considered real.
Right, because when you do 5 lines and under, people, that's all the casting directors call you for. Yeah. They don't think about, you know, that you have another range, that you could actually do a lead, that you could do more. So they tend to call you for the same thing. So that's why sometimes you got to step out on faith and break away from what people know you for.
Yeah, and,
yeah. So Octavia was doing 5 and unders. So we worked together on Beauty Shop.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Octavia Spencer, she sat in a chair and she said, I don't eat nothing I can't spell. That was it. That's all Octavia said. Cut 2, and the Oscar goes to.
Really?
Cut 2. Has Octavia won 2 Oscars? She won 1 and she was nominated for 1. Mm-hmm. Did she win that second one?
She won 1. I think she won 1, yeah.
So she won 1 for The Help. She was nominated for 1 for Hidden Figures. Okay, so this is Octavia, who they were only given 5 lines and under to. And had 1 line on Beauty Shop, Queen Latifah's movie. Cut 2, and the Oscar goes to, she led a movie called Ma. She's got she did Self-Made, playing Madam C.J. Walker. Yeah. She's got a show on Apple TV right now. And so
you are such a talk show host. You give history and background on everything you talk about. You're like, did you guys see Roots? Well, let me tell you who directed Roots. You are such a talk show host.
I want my own talk show so bad. Jackie, you don't understand. Like, I want to sit on the couch and I want to know what makes people tick. Like, I would love to interview you and go, who are you and what makes you tick? What is your life goal? You got on America's Got Talent. And I have to let people know. And every week you got on there, and people, and I want you to understand, when you go on America's Got Talent, you can't just do all of your jokes. Those producers are in your ear and they're like, okay, you got to streamline this, maybe add this. It's very precise. They want to know exactly what you're going to say. So you got to break up your jokes. And sometimes you ain't got all that material. And Jackie, goes by Jackie Fabulous, got on there every week and killed it with her jokes. And so I so admire that, because your stuff is broken up, and Jackie Fabulous is a headliner, which means she's used to doing her own thing. You don't critique Jackie Fabulous on her material, because that's how good she is, because she's a headliner. People go to see her. So to stand there and have people who are not stand-up comics, nothing against whoever were your judges, but they're the judges. So to have them critique your material that you've been doing, that you know works, and to stand there and be humble, because I'd be like, look here. I don't try to critique you when you a supermodel. Don't critique me. But you know
what? Not sorry to cut you off. What helped me on the show is I have found, because of Instagram and posting my videos a lot, most of my jokes rarely go over a minute. So it's easy for me to be like, let me just grab 4 and submit a 4-minute set to NBC. Their primary concern was appropriateness for the network, because they knew my style. I sent them hours of video that I've kept from my stand-up. So they were able to just break it down. Howie's one of the judges, and Howie, is a lifelong stand-up comic. I think what it is there is that Simon actually can tell when you have talent. I think Simon Cowell, he
just don't be sitting there talking ish. Okay, I love it.
Because he's, American Idol. I think he can tell when you really want to be a performer or when you're just fame hungry. He can tell fame hunger from, no, you actually have whatever it is. And I think that helped me, because every night that I did the show that the world saw, I had a set that night at some club in town, because they were all taped in Pasadena, Universal Studios, LA. So I didn't make the show my life. I said, look, I have a set tonight at 9. I got to do AGT at 2, or I got to be there all day, because those things are all day long. And then when I'm done, I wouldn't be tired. Because comedy, we don't get tired unless we really put in 45 minutes. And
I think a lot of people don't understand it. Yes, Kelly, it is creative sisterhood. And I love my sisters. Let me tell you ladies something. If you don't have good women friends in your life, you got to find some. Because I don't think that we are designed to go without our sister friends. Because you keep each other going. You keep each other up. You get to laugh with your sisters. Men are great, but sisters are something strong. No. But I think being on stage, you are so funny.
Thank you.
And I remember one time on our Ladies Night Out tour, comedy tour, you even came to consider, you were going to consider helping Nene Leakes even write material. Like, do you have advice for people who say, I want to try stand-up, but I'm not sure if I'm funny?
I don't think anyone should try stand-up if you haven't been told several times throughout your life that you're funny. Somebody you either were a funny person in school, funny person at work, and people actually can see a light in your eyes that go beyond your daily, everyday life. People do stand up and no one told them that they were funny. I'm like, who told you that you were even amusing? Some of these people.
Do you know who was doing stand up one time? Who's the one that got his penis cut off by his wife?
Lorena Bobbitt.
Lorena Bobbitt, her husband. Yeah. He tried to do stand-up comedy about his penis getting cut off and couldn't figure out why people was just staring at him.
Staring at his crotch while he on the stage.
And then you know who else did stand-up? I don't know why all these celebrities think they do stand-up. Joey Buttafuoco. Remember Joey Buttafuoco?
Yes.
Joey Buttafuoco, for you guys who don't remember who Joey Buttafuoco is, his wife, he was messing around with like a 17-year-old on his wife. They like lived in Long Island. And the 17-year-old got jealous being with this man. That's why you're not supposed to mess around with little girls, grown men. Yeah. And she went and shot the wife in the face. And she went to prison. But Joey Buttafuoco got on stage with the wife because they got back together. She took him back. I'm just saying, for me, if your girlfriend, your side chick come and shoot me in my face, you got to get out of my house. That's
I'm just saying, small requirement.
But he got back together with her, and it was so sad, Jackie, because half her face was paralyzed. So she would come to the comedy store all the time, and she was like, "Look at my husband; he's so funny."
And you're like, "Look at your face. Why are you here?"
Yeah, and I was like, "What's wrong with your face?" She was like, "My husband. I'm here to support my husband." And I'm like, this man had girlfriend that shot you in the face, and you trying to promote him. So he would get on stage, and he was so not funny. Oh my God.
Of course. You have to have, something has to be natural within you that someone has told you about in life. And you really, really, really have to want to do it, but not because you want to get to the next level. A lot of actors, when things, the thing about us that's a blessing is that when Hollywood, like now or whenever, shuts down, we're never without work. Like when the auditions stop, when Hollywood studios are on vacation, July to September, we can still be on tour. Yes. So you have to know that you want to be a stand-up because you really want to be a stand-up.
Because you really love it.
You want to get someplace else in life,
I'm going to tell you, Calais said, preach, Jackie. It's something about being a stand-up comic. It has to be in your gut. Like you don't want to do anything else. Because I remember I used to take the bus, 3 buses from downtown LA to the comedy club.
You really wanted to be a stand-up. Your story is intense.
Because I felt like my mother had diabetes and she was slowly dying from diabetes. My sister was on drugs real bad. She had also, before she got on drugs, she had run away from home. My youngest sister was just falling by the wayside because my mom was sick. And stand-up comedy, and then I was a Jehovah's Witness and I got out of that. So I felt like alone in the world. Yeah. And I kept getting evicted and I was homeless for a minute. Stand-up comedy was the thing that grounded me, that kept me going, because I saw that people were laughing at my pain. Yeah. And so it was something that was like my lifeline, truly. I was in an abusive relationship. I was with a man who would whoop my ass every other day. And so it was so many things in my life that was going wrong that when I got on stage, I didn't remember none of that. Yeah. I didn't think about my mother possibly passing away. I didn't think about my sister being on drugs. And then I talked about how they came to the door, her and a drug addict friend, and they was wearing my clothes, both of them, wearing my clothes, and go sit up there and lie to my face and say, these ain't your clothes.
Well, you
drug addict. You got my bra on, you got my wig on. If you don't get out of my face with all that, I went to get my car and they had stolen my car. You can only do that on stage.
You went to leave, and they're like, "Oh, they got that too."
And they got my car too.
Oh my God.
And you know, and that's the thing, you have to, and I remember, and I want to ask you one of like your nightmare stories. I would go to these clubs and stay till 1, 2 in the morning to get on stage. Because, you know, the strong survive. You got to be able to stay in. And I remember getting there at 8 o'clock. I signed my name up on the open mic. And the lady kept saying, you know, because they always go, "You're next." And they like, "Welcome to the stage." And it ain't you. Marlon Wayans came in and Sean Wayans. Because they had, was it Homeboys from Outer Space? No, they had the Wayans. No, it was the Wayans show.
Yeah.
They came in. And I had the buses stopped running about 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I said to the lady, "My bus won't be running anymore." And she was like, Marlon and Sean walked in. They both did about 45 minutes each. The crowd started thinning out. I was still there because I said, maybe I can go up and catch a ride from one of the other comics.
Yeah.
They went up so long. It like was 3 people in the audience. And then they left.
Yeah.
The buses had stopped running. I was deep in the heart of LA. It might have been Long Beach at the Birdland West. I was in Long Beach, a bad area, no way to get home. And I said, "It's 3 people. Can I still go up?" And I don't know how I got home. I waited for the bus like an hour. One came. And I was scared the whole way going home. I did stand up at a bar with Confederate flags and bikers.
Wow.
And the bikers, and I killed, and the bikers told me with the Confederate flag on the back of the motorcycle that they would build me a motorcycle.
What?
So I love stand up so much. I did it. I didn't care if it was for dead people. I would do stand up.
Yeah.
And that's how, tell me your like,
you know, I don't have any horror stories. I have grudges. And I don't like to use that word, but my biggest memory of wanting to go up and not getting a chance to. And if he sees that, I hope he knows that I love him. But the Comedy Union.
That was a black comedy club. Robin Harris, Bebe's Kids. That was a rough club.
When Rodney Perry was hosting it, when he was hosting it every Friday, I was going down there every week to watch / begging ins to let me get a couple of minutes. And for years, he wouldn't give me a spot.
Yeah, that's a hard thing with the club owners, and it's like you got to know people. It's so hard. They very
for years though.
Huh?
For years, I'd go down there and watch. Not like maybe like 3 years, and I could tell that he was trying to break me if I would hang in there. And I'm like, I don't care. I'll be back. I was always a watcher. These David Arnold, all these guys know that I would Chocolate Sundays. I would go every Sunday just to watch. And Pookie was not booking me. None of these guys are booking me. White people were booking me left and right. But the black club owners were like, "We know who you are, but no." I don't know what the motivation was behind that. So now a lot of my running jokes are like the black club owners are like, "Well, thanks for visiting us." Like, "Oh, you're going to come hang out now?" I'm like, "Look, when I wanted to be on this stage, you guys weren't booking me. Caucasians were like, Caucasians are calling me. Hey, come on down. You want to do a set?" And I don't know what that's about. I don't know how to explain that.
I don't know how to explain that either. That'd be a great forum. And you're right, Kelly, we do share some stuff. I think because I had the same problem. I was doing a lot of white clubs all over the city. Black clubs would not book me.
Yeah.
But I did all of the boy clubs in West Hollywood. I did all of the gay clubs. You want to hear my opening bit? When I did the gay club?
I love a gay club.
Let me tell you a good gay club, because all gay men want to be a black woman. It was like...
I did a club. Go ahead. Tell you
no, tell me. What were you gonna say?
Real quick, I did a gay show at the Hollywood Improv, and the host was a gay woman, and she was warning me, like worried, like, you know, the audience is gay. I said, "Girl, let me go do my thing." I got on stage. I'm like, the host is worried I'm not gonna do well. I'm a big black woman. Half of y'all want to be me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Roar.
So along with your story,
yes,
I used to do all of the clubs in West Hollywood, all of the open mics, the Rose Tattoo. There was one, the Revolver, and there was a club called The Rage, and they had a variety show every week with a woman named the Lovely Carol, and she would dress in drag, and it was like a variety show. With all these clubs will give you $100 if you won. And I needed $100.
Yes.
So I would use my last money to get up to these clubs. And I held the record for winning the most money at the Rage on Tuesday nights. I won $2,200 over the course of 2 years. So I was always winning the money. The only time I would lose is if I walked in there and it was a big black girl singing gospel.
Why?
Because the gay boys love, like, gospel did something to you, first of all.
Yeah.
But when it was a big black woman, they just went crazy.
Yeah,
so
they changed energy.
As soon as I seen, if I walked in and saw a big black woman and she was a singer, I was like, well, I might as well go home because these jokes ain't got nothing on. Oh! and that's how I made. But I got calls all the time. I did the gay comedy. It wasn't a comedy club circuit. It was just the gay circuit of clubs all the time. And I got called by the white, but it was hard to get in with the black clubs. Like, I was doing comedy at theater. Like, Joe Torre was hosting and D.L. Hughley was hosting. And I would be there all night. And it was, I don't know, they just weren't kind to women. It was, I don't know what it was. And I went through the same thing. I would be there all night and they wouldn't put me up. And then I got heckled a lot at the black clubs.
Yeah.
I was always getting heckled, but I said, you're not going to run me out. I remember one time I got heckled so bad because people would automatically start talking about my breasts. Like, I rarely talk about my breasts on stage, very rarely. But I had to learn to make jokes about my breasts because I would get heckled about them. Because at that time, in my 20s, they was big and they set up like this. I mean, when I walked in the club, boy, it was just like this. My daggone titties was like, whew, I had them. That's when they were sweet and no stretch marks. They looked like big peaches.
Your titties were your openers back then.
Let me tell you something. And people and the guys would heckle me. They'd be like, look at them big old titties. All crude. I want to suckle them titties. I don't know why they said titties. That's what they call them, titties. And they wouldn't quiet down. And so I had worked on this heckler line in my bathroom. I had worked it out. And I said, I was going to say, the next time somebody says something about my breasts, I was going to say, you'd have to put these breasts in layaway because you couldn't afford them.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to cut you down. Easy comeback. Girl, why did I go up at there? It was a club called, it was on La Tijera, the Townhouse.
Okay.
And the Townhouse was
Michael Collier used to host over there. I remember
it was. It was called the Townhouse. Joe Torre used to host. And if you ever work with Joe Torre, before he got Jesus, would roast you so bad you want to go and kill yourself. And you wouldn't dare argue with Joe Torre because he was from Baltimore, I think. He would fight you on, like, Joe Torre would come off the stage, fight you, whoop your ass, and get back on stage. He would. One time he saw me running because he would go put the spotlight on him. And I was coming from the bathroom, and he didn't know I was a comic. He went, put the spotlight on her. And I was running. He was like, that's what you should have done if somebody shot you in the ass before you go hibernate. I mean, I was like,
Jesus.
Oh, my gosh. He was so, whoo. So anyway, girl, Joe Torre was so mean that somebody got mad when he got a gun to shoot him.
He hosted at the one show I did at the Savoy a few years ago. Here's the thing, though. Whenever I had to do a black club, the hype, the warnings I would get, the nerves, and I don't get nervous. All these years, I get excited. I can't wait to go up. I don't get worried about not doing well. But black clubs, the host puts so much fear in your heart before you even go to the bathroom to prepare to go up.
Oh, my gosh. It was... Because black people, I think, are a different kind of audience. Wait, remind me. I just want to say my heckler line. Remember about black people in the audience.
Gotcha.
My heckler line of you'd have to put my boobs on layaway because you couldn't afford them.
Yeah.
As soon as I got on the stage, Joe brought me up because he was like, he used to do something called coming up next. It's this next comedian. And the crowd would go, but is she funny? And he'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And because they didn't say back then, don't be heckling, don't get on your phones. You could heckle. And they brought me up, and the first thing I was like, hey, everybody. My voice was all high. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Sherri Shepherd. And somebody was like, look at them big ass titties. And I was ready. I was ready, but then I got nervous, and I was like, if they was on layaway, they big because you in the paying for, and they started doing this, the Apollo, boo, boo, and then you couldn't hear me. My hands was shaking with the microphone, and Joe came up behind me, was making faces. He snatched the microphone out of my hand. I was humiliated. I ran to the bathroom crying because I was so humiliated.
Yeah.
And I said, I quit. I'm tired because I'm taking the bus everywhere. I'm getting home late. I'm walking. I live downtown LA, so I had to walk through MacArthur Park, and that's before it got gentrified. It was drug dealers and pimps and homeless people. And I said, I'm tired of this. Getting hurt every single time. And I ran into D.L. Hughley.
Yeah.
And D.L. said, where you going? And I said, I was crying. And I said, I'm going home. And D.L. said, you better get back on that stage, because if you don't, you're not going to do it again. You got to find whatever's in you. He said, Sherri, what did you do? And I was like, I didn't do, and this is where I talk. I didn't do anything, D.L. I was just standing there, and and he said, first of all, the way you talking. Black people don't talk like that. He said, so look at the way you look, the way you talking. They got to be able to relate to you. So when you get on the stage, take a break. And he gave me advice. And so I went home and I sit in front of the mirror because I grew up in the Valley. So I was always talking like this, and whatever. That's how I talk. I know it's hard to believe. And I stood in front of the mirror. This is what I did. I'm going to the store. 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 I didn't talk the Valley girl out.
Yeah.
So that I just sounded more relaxed. And that just helped me. And I went back up on stage that next week. Joe Torre brought me up, and I killed.
Wow.
So I learned from there, even if you fall, you can't grow without some failure. You can't go up unless you fall down.
And I find whenever I have to do a Black club, I still get nervous. I'm like, because they don't let you in easily. The audience.
No.
And white audiences, a white audience every now and then, if you have a cute smile, they're already like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. They're already on your side. Where Black people are like, look, we don't care about your outfit.
You ain't all that.
We don't know who you are. You not some more. Bitch, what? Why are you here?
Exactly.
And you got to get them out of the mindset of you're auditioning and more in the mindset of this is what I do. So you're either going to be on the train with me or you can leave. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think also Black crowds, as far as a woman, I'm not speaking for any man that gets up, but for women, there was always more women in the audience than men.
Every show. More women.
And you tend to get judged. Women tend to judge you. Brandy, the singer, had an experience where she got on stage and she said it was girls in the front like this.
Always a bad time.
She got stage fright for years and wouldn't perform because of that one thing. And so, but Black crowds are like, you gonna earn this money. Like, I didn't pay this money to get in here. I'm not giving you 3 seconds of grace. You gonna earn this money.
Yeah.
And you had to, and with a Black crowd, I think with the white crowd, you were allowed at that time to ease into it.
They'll give you a minute to get comfortable.
They'll give you a minute to get started, to get into your groove. Black crowd, you had to come up with a machine gun. And if you was one of them,
Black crowd was one of the last
comics
that
just like tried to ease into it, it gave them too much time to boo you. What were you gonna say?
The last Black club I did recently, it was Thanksgiving weekend, and that was my first all Black club headlining weekend in my career. The Comedy House in South Carolina. And I'm not gonna lie, I did well every show, but every show, different audience, every show, I had to climb up a mountain to get them to be on my side.
Yes.
And I had to be able to break material to roast them the way they wanted to be roasted in between my jokes. You can't, my opinion for me, I can't do my set all straight line and then done, good night. I have to be able to do a joke, see dudes texting and the back turned to me, and then I look at girls going like this, and I gotta be able to be like, hey, you don't like my boots? Look, these boots, they hurt. You lucky I can stand up. You gotta be able to,
like with the girls in the Black clubs, because you will have girls that judge you. So when I first started doing stand-up, I only dressed sexy on stage probably within the last 5 years. Do I dress sexy on stage? I never used to dress sexy because it gave women too much room to do this.
Ammunition,
The ammunition, and I would feel self-conscious. Now I own it. I'm freaking 53. Look, I'm doing it. But when I first started, crisscross, you know, jump. They had so it wasn't crisscross. It was color. The
cross
colors.
Oh, cross canine. It was cross colors. Cross canine. Gotcha.
Cross colors. It was cross colors. So they had that big clown kind of, the big pants. You know, the big shirts. I wore all of that. I wore baseball caps because what I didn't want to do was I already was going up with women who was like this. Okay, you're not all that. You ain't funny. You ain't. Why my man looking at you? So it was. You had to get past that, and we as women, and you had to go through this too. Self-deprecating humor worked better.
Yeah.
Nowadays, women can get on stage and they can be like, I'm the baddest bitch and I'm fine and I'm doing this. And women will be like, yes.
Yes. Now they want the encouragement.
They want the encouragement. But back then, women wasn't like that. They was like, you know, the self-deprecating, you had to put yourself down for women to feel like, okay, I like you. I like you. And so I used to wear cross colors, big royal blue pants where you couldn't really see my body. You couldn't see I had big boobs. And I know black clubs I always had to prove myself. Because if you following somebody who's rapid fire, they're going on stage going, hey, how's everybody doing? We was doing fine till you got on your bitch. You not funny, boo.
I've had that where I'm like, how y'all doing? And somebody... but I know how to hit them real quick and then go back to the material. Where back then, if they did that, I'd be like, you feel deflated, but you realize I got 40 minutes. I need to snap the hell out of that and finish the set.
Let me tell you, the worst thing is when you doing a crowd and they're either heckling you and you can't get your footing. I always tell new comics, slow down when you're on stage. Because when you slow down, it projects confidence. Once you start speeding up, your tongue get all dry, feel big in your mouth.
Yeah.
it just, you never get your bearings. And
you know how I learned, what I understand about that with sitcom actors. You got to be big for a sitcom. You feel ridiculous, but when you watch it, you're like, it looks absolutely normal. But when you're doing it, you're extra like, hey, Joey. And in your soul, you're like, I feel like an idiot. But then when you watch it, you're like, no, that's normal because TV, the whole dimensions and, you know, people receive it as regular conversation. And I realized on stage when I first started, Rodney Perry was like, you screaming, your voice is too high. You know, I was so excited. Every set, to this day, I'm on stage like, hi, guys, because I'm so happy to be up there. And now when people are coming to see me, I'm like, look, just get on stage, sip your water, walk around, go for a little lap, talk to the birthday crowd, and then start, and then begin.
It's a confidence level. That's what I tell people, breathe and look at the crowd.
Yeah.
Find that one funny person that's giving you that smile.
Yes.
They probably is gonna be like, why she keep looking at me? But find that person that's smiling that you can lock into, because as comics, we could be killing, but that one person that's like this will bother us for the next 2 weeks.
Always see them.
But you know, it's so funny because I had to come into that because during crowds, I was so scared of hecklers.
Yeah.
But I wasn't confident in who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my voice was. I remember I tried to be like Cheryl Underwood. Cheryl Underwood Cheryl Underwood is a co-host on The Talk.
Yeah.
She used to get on stage with her purse. And did she still get on stage with her purse? And she would take her purse on stage and she would say, you know, if y'all stole the slaves, you sure gonna steal my purse. So I'm not leaving it with y'all. And so Cheryl was one of the ones, you couldn't heckle Cheryl. Cheryl would destroy you.
Yeah, she go for the jugular.
Even now, not as much because she got Jesus, so she a lot more loving. But I was scared of Cheryl. Cheryl cursed me out one time over nothing. Cheryl, but that's how Cheryl was known to curse you out. If you didn't get cursed out by Cheryl, you wasn't nobody. So yes, she cursed me out. But she took me on the road with her as well. And one time, she took me and Aretha Jones on the road, and the promoter didn't have our money. And Cheryl said, I'm going to my car and I'm gonna get my gun. And if you don't have my money, I'm going to blow up this place. We had our money before we left. That's Cheryl Underwood from The Talk.
Okay? From the daytime talk show.
But, you know, comedy clubs is so funny. You have to get to the point where, I always tell comics, you got to get on stage. There's nothing that will take the place of continuously getting on stage, because that is where you continuously get your confidence and you know that your material is funny.
Yes, I get a lot of young people asking me for advice. I had one guy, I was headlining Zanies in Chicago, and my girlfriend from back in the day when I started sent her son, who was now an adult, to come ask me advice about stand-up. He was hitting me before my set began, which is always a mistake. And when it was over, he stood around with a yellow pad. And finally, I'm like, have you been on stage? And he's like, no, I just wanted to know, you know, what's your approach? And I was like, there ain't no, I'm like, I get on stage. Sometimes I get on stage and discuss the dream I had. I don't have any structure when I'm working on, I want to talk it out. If I'm dating a new guy, I want to tell you what's wrong with him already. And then from that, I pull jokes out of. You got to get on stage. There's no method.
There's no method.
You have to do it. You can go to classes, but if you ain't on stage, you're not going to learn.
You're not going to learn. And I think some people, because I took comedy classes.
Me too. You and I both took Judy Carter's class. We both took Judy Carter's class. Shout out Judy Carter.
Took Judy Carter's class. And what a comedy class does, you tell me if you agree, it teaches you structure. It teaches you how to take, because I think the difference between a funny person and a stand-up is a funny person is funny to those people that know him or her. Mm-hmm. A stand-up, we have to be funny at 2 in the morning. 4 in the morning. We have to be funny in front of a group of Jewish people. We have to be funny in front of the KKK.
We got to be funny online also.
You have to be funny online. There's no different. You have to be able to take that thing where you're funny with people you know and be funny in front of people you don't know.
Yeah.
And for 45 minutes to an hour.
Long time.
That's a long time to talk. But what was I saying, girl? Welcome to 53. What was we talking about? Then
people, you got to get on stage.
Oh, so we took, thank you, girl. You talking about my memory. Sometimes stuff, like stuff just fall into a black pool of water. And I'm like, I just freeze. And then I go, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
We took a comedy class because a comedy club teaches you structure. It teaches you how to take something that your friends laughed at, how to take it apart and restructure it and put it together so that it works for the crowd. Because usually if you went through it, there's somebody else that can relate to it. If they haven't gone through it, they can relate to it.
That's all my material, because I find sometimes you need a veteran to be like, to take a thought you have that makes you giggle, and you tell them the thought, and they're like, that's great. But you need to begin, you need a middle, and you need an ending. And you need somebody who knows what they're doing to explain to you. In order for you to deliver these jokes so that you earn a check, the audience has to go on a ride with you. You can't get on stage and be like, hey, I met this guy and he ain't got no car. That's not funny. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's fact. Now, if you can figure out how to be like, where'd you meet this guy? Why doesn't he have a car? Did he ever have a car? Did he want to take you on a date, on a bike? You got to figure out how to drag that out into an actual joke.
Into an actual joke where you're taking people on a ride. Like you said, so for me, I remember one of my first jokes was Valentine's Day. My boyfriend said, I asked him, I said, well, where's my flowers? You didn't give me no flowers. He said, baby, I was going to get you some roses. But before I could, the light turned green. I'm so damn proud of that joke. I'm so proud of that joke. And it's taking something that has happened to you and being able to stretch it out so you can take people on a journey. And the only thing that will help you do that is if you get on stage. Get your butt on stage with the tape recorder. I tell people, do that joke. You got to do that joke like 10 times before you can see, if it's truly working, or if you got to cut some of the fat out and you got to listen to it. If you say something funny and people laugh, you got to write it down. At this point, Jackie, my memory's so bad. If I don't write it down, it's gone forever.
Really? And usually if you don't write it down, if you don't record it on your phone, for me, those be the best sets. When I'm just loose and playing around, then when I'm done, people are like, whoa, that was good. I never heard that one before. I'm like, it's gone. I don't know why I didn't record it. You got to record everything you do now, because now with everything being so tumultuous in the world, your thoughts can change from a joke to your honest feeling about it. And if you want that recorded, you just move your wig.
Everybody who follow me know sometimes the wig be like it's coming off. I'll try to do it real quick. Sometimes it take a little bit longer. You know, it's so funny about getting material when people say, well, how do I get material? And I want to encourage people who are even thinking about stand-up when they say, oh, I'm trying to get an hour's worth of material. When you first start doing stand-up, ain't nobody going to give you an hour on stage. You only going to get 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just get 5 minutes together. That's all you need. And
I was only allowed to do 5 minutes for years. I was a 5 minute. That's why now, if you have me do a short set, they call it a showcase set in Hollywood. If you have me do 5 to 8 minutes, I will murder it because I've only been allowed to do 5 minutes the first 5 to 7 years of my career. Well, with 3 to 5 years, they only give me 5 minutes. And then they graduate from 5 to 8, and then 8 to 10. And then 10 to 12, and then 12 becomes 15. Now you featuring. This takes years.
It takes years to do that. I think that's why so many comics, when we see comics who have been doing comedy, they just started, because a lot of people get into doing stand-up because they want to get the exposure, because they know that these agents and stuff look at stand-ups. And I think comics get so upset at times because we put in such the work. You know, you were going out to comedy clubs night after night. Lonnie Love was at the comedy clubs night after night. Cheryl Underwood was always on the road. She was never at home. You know, even now I do comedy clubs. I'll do at least 4 times a week. And on the weekend, I tease David Arnold because I'll do 4 clubs in a night on the weekend when I'm home. And David will do 2. And I'll get on stage and go, try to top what I just did. But that, because you need that stage time is what develops your confidence. Like I can get on stage and I'm not as scared as I used to be because I did 3 other clubs that night, and I know my material works. I know I'm taking you on a journey with the beginning, middle, and end of my life. So my confidence is there. But I remember, girl, when I conquered Black crowds, I think. When I conquered truly, because being a Black comedian, you always want to make your own people laugh.
You are so concerned about when I did the J Spot years ago and I was hosting, Lunell was the headliner. And the J Spot can be rough. And Lunell people came out. So I was hosting and the audience didn't give a shit about me. But when I tell you I had to pull out the inner N-word to handle this crowd, and when I was done and went to the back where the comics sit, they were like, Jackie, we didn't know you could do that. I'm like, no, she's here. But she don't come out that much. Go ahead, what you were saying. I cut you off.
You know, going up with somebody, it's hard to follow certain comics. It really helps you. Like, I love going up on stages now where they put me last. I love following, oh gosh, okay, please, my memory. He's a white comic. He's so big at the Laugh Factory. He had a big, huge development deal from MySpace. This is...
Oh, Dane Cook.
Dane Cook. I keep going Dwayne Wade.
Nah.
I'm like, it's not Dwayne. And I knew if I kept saying, I felt like I'm on a $25,000 pyramid. MySpace. Dane Cook. I love following Orny Adams. I love following Dane Cook because it makes you work.
Yeah.
You know, when you follow really strong comics, it makes you stronger. So going up after Lunell or Melanie Camacho, Hope Flood.
Ooh, girl. And
let me tell you about comics. They're not easy on you. A comic, when they go up, they want to destroy it so bad that nobody can follow them. The comics go at a Black comedy club. I don't know, you don't so much get on white comedy clubs, but them daggone Black comedy clubs, they go up to annihilate the room so much that they don't want anybody to be able to follow them.
Yeah.
And that is the scariest feeling when you following a JB Smoove, who was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, or a Chris Tucker was Rapid Fire, or a Lunell. It just, because after they so tired from laughing, their stomachs are hurting.
Yeah, they're tired. They're literally tired.
They're tired. You trying to get up and they like, look, I'm tired. But that's the kind of thing that makes you grow. And so my thing where I always, like, my validation came from Black people. I didn't care. If I can't make Black people laugh, I'm not worth my salt.
Yeah.
And you always say, that's why I don't understand Candace Owens. I'm like, I don't know how you can turn against your people, because we are so important. Like, you don't care.
Whenever, the last time I remember that was when at the Man's Chinese Theater, the comedy club that was there, Chris Spencer's club, I forget the name of the club, the title, but I had gone up and there was a drop-in and I didn't know he was coming after Mike Epps. And when I got off stage, Mike was like, he pulled me aside and he was high as hell. And in my ear, he was like, you were funny. You know, and that happened when Damon Wayans saw me at Flappers. He was like, girl, after Damon Wayans, I went into the parking lot to my car and I stopped behind a pillar and I cried.
Yeah, when Damon Wayans tells you that, that's so awesome because Damon Wayans fired me from his show.
Which show is this?
The one with
Wife and Kids?
My Wife and Kids, Tisha Campbell.
He did it?
His people did it, which means he didn't like me. And this is no shade to Damon, because I love Damon Wayans. This is now just a story in my arsenal of the journey in Hollywood. So I don't, and I told Damon when he came on The View, I said, had you not fired me, I wouldn't be here at The View. So sometimes you look at being fired as something bad, but it truly is when one door closes, another one opens. And we can say that because we've gone through it. So it's just, I thought it was funny. Damon Wayans gave you advice. Yeah. And he fired me. So it still was great on both ends. We both cried. But
oh my God, the amount of stories. I remember
Chris Rock, he came to, there was a comedy club in Hollywood that everybody used to go to. Yeah. It was on Sunset Boulevard, and Carlos and Charlie's. Ooh. And I remember going up there, and Chris Rock was there, and he said, you funny. And then another time Chris Rock saw me, and this is why I was on that movie Top 5.
Yes.
That he did with Rosario Dawson and all
Leslie Jones. Yeah.
Because I was doing a show at Gotham in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in, I had a spot, and all of a sudden I heard Chris Rock.
God.
But you know, the audience, when they see him, they're like, Chris Rock. And the excitement was building up. Chris Rock.
Uh-huh.
And I thought to myself, you know, because I'm going, he going to be up all night.
Yeah.
And now I got to wait. And I had to drive all the way back an hour to Jersey. Mm-hmm. And so they asked Chris, they said, Sherri's been here all night. Do you mind if she goes up? And I heard him say, Sherri Shepherd. And they said, yeah. He said, let her go up. I will forever be grateful. And I went up. And so, you know, when there's somebody who's, well, no, you like, I got to bring out all my, like.
You got to fire.
I got to come and go. And so I did. And Chris pulled me to the side.
Pull to the side.
To the side. And he was like, you are funny. You are really funny. And I did. I cried. And he was like, this joke right here, you should do boom, boom, boom to the. And I'm like, Chris Rock is giving me advice.
Giving notes. Yeah.
Because Jackie, let me tell you something. I was like, if anybody else had told me that, I'd been like, screw you. I ain't changing the joke. Chris Rock said it. I was like, I'll drop the joke if you want, Chris. But from Chris seeing me on stage, he gave me that role in Top 5. Or at least I got called in for the audition to Top 5 to play his ex-girlfriend.
Wow.
And it was magical. And I swear Chris Rock directed it, and I fell in love with him, and I had a crush on him. And it was like falling in love with your doctor when you come out from being paralyzed. I wouldn't leave him alone. I was so in love with that daggone Chris Rock.
I'm in love with him now. I keep track. When these guys get divorced, I'm like, hey, what's up? Holla at your girl.
Honey, let me tell you. I got Chris Rock. Chris Rock gave me his phone number when we were working on Top 5, and he was going through his divorce. And that's when you got to, you know, if y'all trying to get back with your husbands when you're going through a divorce, watch them bitches that come out. Because Chris Rock was going through that divorce, and I'll be with my, the phone is right here. I'll be texting going, hey, how's everything, Chris? Do you need to talk? And he would text back. Chris would text back, and he'd be like, you know, I'm really going through it. And I was like, you going through it? You need to come over and talk about it, Chris? And he was like,
you're dead serious.
That's serious. And he was like, well, I'm out of the country. You know, I'm working on a movie. And I was like, but you got to come back though, right? Huh? Let me tell you, I tried it. I tried it.
Really?
Because I did. You know, what I love about Chris Rock, and taking away having a crush on him, when a man is funny, that's very sexy to me.
That part is my problem, Sherri. My problem is our funny men. My whole life, my whole life, I'm like, he cute, whatever. He's tall, whatever. Well endowed, whatever. But if he's funny, I'm halfway in.
And the thing about, if you're funny and you are intelligent, and like you put intelligence, if you put intelligence on funny, like a man, if he's funny, he's like, anyways, I was doing it, I was banging, and that don't get me. But if you're funny and you got intelligence and you make me think, I'm like, I'm in hook, line, and sinker. I married a stand-up comic who was very philosophical. He didn't have the stamina to stay in the game, but my first husband he came out from Boston with Joe Rogan. And they were doing stand-up. Yeah. And so my first husband, I immediately started liking him because he did a ton of characters. And he was real deep. He had a joke one time, and he said his area is so white where he lived in North Hollywood. He said, if a black person move in, I'm calling the cops. And at the time, that was funny. Calling the cops. But and he was so funny, and his brain got me. He's a very smart man. And we should have never gotten married. We really my husband was.
That's why you have your son.
That's why I got Jeffrey. But literally, my ex-husband, because he was a comic, that was a one-night stand that lasted about 12 years too long. Some people, you have to know where to put men. And some people are just in the, not that I'm advocating one-night stands, but it shouldn't have been 12 years.
My problem, I guess currently, a good friend, Lulu Gonzalez, a comic, she said part of my problem is that I like to turn a F-buddy into a boyfriend. And I'm like, but sex is important to me. That all that, I need passion because I'm a Leo, I'm a performer, I'm smart, I'm quick-witted, so I can't be with a guy who's boring. And if the sex is good on top of all that, he'll be around way longer than he needs to be.
Well, if you're funny, you can keep me around a long time. If you had that good physical stuff on it, then I done fell down the rabbit hole of alimony. Never good for me. Because I'm married, which is my problem.
Yes, I understand.
I tell females when they first get in the comedy business, when they say, can you give me some advice, Miss Sherri? And I go, please don't sleep with the comics. It'll take you 10 years to get your reputation back.
Why you didn't tell me that? I've been doing this for 15 years. You're too late.
I'm too late. Now it's going to take you a lifetime to get your reputation back. You better be glad you're famous, Jackie.
Well, no, here's the thing. I have never slept with a comic who is a threat to my career. That's been my tactic. They've been fun.
It's not that they're a threat. Like at your level, it's cool because most people you're above on that level. So they can't do anything. I think it's when you first start.
I've never slept with a comic above me, way above. And I had a goal. I'm like, I need to get somebody who's up here, like a D.L. Hughley level. And those guys are always married already. And they don't want to, I mean, they may want to, but they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I'm like,
we didn't had our share of comics who married, who like, and you like, does your wife know that you're okay? All right.
You're like, so you own this condo in Idaho, even though you live in LA? All right, I'm just curious. It's your business. Okay. It's your business.
It's your business. I'm just saying. Where's your wedding ring? Where's your wedding ring?
And then
comics will give you the excuses of a lifetime about the damn wedding ring.
No wedding ring. But then when the holidays come around, you're like, who are these kids? I didn't know you had 3 dogs and 3 daughters and 2 sons and a house. The holidays are when all of these comic families appear out of nowhere.
They come out the trees. Like literally, comics families and kids they fall out of the branches.
You know how many guys I'm like, I thought you only had 1 daughter. You got a daughter who I can hang out with. We could drive together. Some of them got kids.
Let me tell you,
what?
I dated a comic. This had about 7 kids. And they all came out at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And they all wanted to beat my ass.
Oh, really? And you're like, I didn't know about you.
I did not know you was with his mama. I did not know.
He told me they were going through it.
Because this is the story you always get from the comics. That they going through it. That they get a divorce, that they got a divorce, that they live with the other comic at their little condo.
Yeah. Or that they, or Jackie, we just staying together for the kids. And I'm like, you know that I'm an adult, right? And you ain't got to lie. And too many of these guys are like, they lie so well. And when you come across, you're like, you ain't got to lie. If I decide I want to do whatever, I'm grown. But they are so used to lying. If you tell them you ain't got to lie, they're like confused. What you mean I don't got to lie?
And then they're going to lie.
And then they still lie. I'm
like,
look, I'm like, we are in Seattle. We don't live in Seattle. You ain't got to lie about your family back home.
Girl, can I tell you, this mess over here ain't no joke. And I love a funny man, and you're intelligent. Like Dave Chappelle. I looked at Dave Chappelle. And
oh my God, do you see his last YouTube thing recently?
I was up at 3 a.m.
Sherri,
transfixed.
Forget about what he was talking about. I don't mean forget. I mean like step aside.
No, I know what you...
His outfit. I was turned on by what he was wearing in that YouTube video. I thought he looked hot.
I've never seen Dave Chappelle in all that black. I thought he looked very sexy.
He looked.
No,
he looked like he was gonna do a dance break in the middle of some of these jokes. He looked like a dancer.
But you know what I ordered? You know what I ordered for Dave Chappelle that I'm gonna get to him? What? I ordered him a Tiffany lighter. I said, if you don't like that damn cigarette, I couldn't even take it no more. I said, but I understand. He has so much raw emotion coursing through his body, But sitting here at my house in front of my computer, I was like, light the cigarette. I ordered him a Tiffany lighter because I'm gonna get it to him. But Dave Chappelle, to watch Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, the way their mind works. I saw Chris Rock. Steve Harvey had a charity benefit. And Chris Rock was working, and he came to accept an award, and he did 45 minutes just on Steve Harvey, and I was just in awe. Wow. But watching Dave Chappelle take something, he said one time on a radio show, he said, you don't necessarily have to be funny all the time on that stage. You just have to have the audience transfixed enough where they don't want to look away.
Ooh.
And I said, oh my gosh. That you saying something so powerful, it ain't necessarily funny, but the audience can't look away.
Yeah.
And that's how I was. Everything, it was so, what did you think about it?
I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was funny how relevant it was.
Absolutely.
That's what I left there like, this isn't funny, but it's funny how needed this is. It's funny how timely. It's funny how all the symbolism, the 846, is when he was born, the 824, his birthday. I was like, what kind of witchcraft? But clearly, those symbols made him be like, we're gonna go to a field and we're gonna get some cameras. And it is IG post. He's like, look, I don't normally post something so unrefined. Please excuse me. And he posts on his IG page because he's like, look, I don't care how this looks to y'all, but you're gonna hear this today. I loved it. I thought it was incredible.
It was very interesting, the significance of the numbers. I'm not typically a numerology person, but I do believe numbers are important. There's a reason why, even in the Bible, God says he rested on the seventh day.
Yeah.
That 7 means something.
Yeah.
The firstborn. So there is the fact that you were born at 8:46, and that was the amount of time that a knee was in George Floyd's neck.
Yeah.
When he was murdered. The moment you were, your birthday is 8/24. That is the day that Kobe died. I think that's what he said, right?
Yeah.
So there's a significance in the fact that you are actually the only one up here doing truth telling. Is something. Come here, baby. What? I'm sorry. What? Can you come here, Jeffrey? Can you just say hi, baby? I know you don't want to be on camera. He's like, I'm good.
Is that his voice is deep as hell.
You hear him sound like a grown man. Can you text Mignon and ask him if he can? You ask him to bring some ambassador? Yeah. He's growing into himself, so everything hurts. But you know what? I was talking about you, how you are funny and your dad is funny. You want to come and say hi?
No.
With bass in his voice, nope.
I swear, I just want to have a daughter so I could do a TikTok video.
You can still have a daughter.
TikTok. Huh?
You can still have a daughter if you want one.
I just need her for a TikTok video. I want to do one of them TikTok videos was like, get into something on. Get into something on.
Let me tell you a joke I just did the other night, and I wrote it about Kim. And I wrote a joke about I like having girlfriends that are a little bit older than me, a little bit, because they're really honest. And I have a girlfriend. She became a mom later in life, and she was having a rough way to go. It was just the adapting to the mom and the career without saying what she did. And then one day Kim showed me and Amy a picture of a beautiful baby girl on her phone. And we're like, this baby's cute. What's this baby? Who is she? And Kim said, I'm considering adopting her. So me and Amy were like,
was it that little girl?
Like, I don't remember, but
she was like 3.
Yeah. And me and Amy, we were immediately like, no. We were, and I said to Kim, I said, Kim, you lose Joshua at least once a week. And her comeback was, Jackie, don't we always find him? And I love that joke because that really happened when I was talking to her seriously about you ain't adopting another kid.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny doing material like with Dave Chappelle.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Lord, wanting to know why I didn't put the filter in the air conditioner. I got to get out of this house. You're not going to talk to me crazy. Well, I tell you, you change the filter and you don't do it. And it costs me money. It costs me money. I don't give a... You know how much money I'm paying for this place? Change the filter. My landlord be talking to me so daggone crazy. And then gonna always end with, I saw your movie. You're very talented. But you must change. You must change the filter. It's costing me money. Oh, I gotta find another place. I gotta be out by October. So
you're in LA, right?
I'm in LA. Yes, my lease is up on Halloween, so I gotta be out while they trick or treating on the Day of the Dead.
I agree.
So, you know, I got my TV show Sherri because that actually happened. My TV show Sherri was based on the fact my husband was played by Malcolm Jamal Warner. He cheated with a white girl, and we had to figure out, and they had a baby. And we had to figure out how life moved on. Then Michael Boatman from Spin City played my new boyfriend. I had my best friend. Tammy Townsend played the Niecy Nash character.
And you were a paralegal, right?
I was a paralegal. Trying to do stand-up comedy. And that was because when I found out that my husband cheated, he was my best friend. Like that, he was my best friend in the world. And I was so devastated. But there were certain things that happened that I accentuated. You know, at the time when I found pictures of him in bed with her, I had found pictures. I added to it that, because I was in the office studying my Bible. And this is how you add to it to do a journey. And I said I was in my office studying my Bible. And when I found those pictures, I closed my Bible. And I said, God, I'm going to get back with you. Because you're not going to be able to handle what's about to go down in the next room. Did I say that to God? No. I just ignored all of God tapping me on the shoulder. And when I went in there and I looked at my husband and he was sleeping so peacefully, I looked at him and I said, you gonna die. And I was looking for something to kill my husband with, because you never have anything to kill your husband with, so you're looking for something to kill your husband. And I said, God tapped me on the shoulder and said, Sherri, you can't kill him because you're going to go to prison. And I said, well, if that is going to be my testimony, then I will go and be a witness to the other prisoners. And so it was an entire journey of finding out that he cheated and what I did. And when Niecy called me and when I went to, Niecy told me to go to the bank and take out all the money. The joke that I put in there was when I went to the bank to take the money out, the teller said, we can't give you the money, Mrs. Shepherd, because his name is on the account. And I said, I just found out that I found pictures of my husband in bed with another woman. She said, how much do you want? You know, it's just,
yeah.
And that's the thing, you take your life. So looking at, for me, Jackie, I can't be on stage and it not be funny.
Real, yeah.
It's got to be real. But in looking at Dave Chappelle, if I felt like it gave me license to really speak my truth. And sometimes it might not be funny, but if it's saying something, if you don't look away, I'm good. Now, if you're looking away, like, okay, when is she gonna do a joke? Then we got a problem.
Yeah, my comedy career changed when I started telling the really, really rawest and most honest. In the last 5 years, every set I do will be great on some level, whether it's great the whole time or great for a minute, because I talk about everything that actually happens to me, and women have been the ones to hold me down. Females have been like, girl, what happened to you happen to me. I thought I was the only one. You're not the only one. And when I started doing that without worrying about, do I sound ladylike? Do I sound black? Do I sound white? Do I sound educated? Will the club have me back? I go on stage now like I don't give a damn about any of this. This is what I want to tell y'all about. And since I started doing that, the career has been a blessing 20 times over because I bring myself to the stage without worrying about anything else around me. Because when you decide that this is how you're going to die as a stand-up, you can't follow a formula. It's only you on stage. It is the most solo job.
Absolutely.
It's only you. There's nobody up there. It don't matter. And there used to be a time where I would do Sierra's in Studio City or Ventura, and I would be nervous because I would have a bunch of comics in the back. I'd have Corey Holcomb, Joe Torre, everybody big in the back watching, and James Hanna ready to critique me and tear me down or build me up. When I learned to tune out comedians, because that was my Achilles, comedians. Yeah. Now it don't matter who in the back. It could be Eddie Murphy could be in the back. I'm like, I'm still gonna give you what I do.
And you want to
tune that out, it changes.
You're very hard to follow because you come out there and you kill them. And I completely understand. I understand you talking about the fact that you have to embrace who you are, and you have to get to a point where you don't worry about what people say about you. You don't worry about, because you know who you are. That's where I've come, like being on that stage. I used to always feel like I can't say certain things because I don't want people to be mad at me. I'm a Christian, so I can't curse. I can't. And once I let go of all of that and said, I'm grown, Sherri, you grown. There's some people just not going to like you, but there's a lot of people who are. But it doesn't matter. Do you like you? So like if you get on stage, if you see me on stage, I curse because I'm a grown-ass woman. Yeah. And what's going on in my life is curse words. Like my son, let me tell you something, during this corona, my son has heard more mother and bull and P-U-S-S-Y. I say that all the time. He don't even know what to do with me. But I feel like I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm 53 years old. If you think I'm running around talking about Nickelodeon stuff, I'm not. Because what I'm going through is alimony, child support.
I told you, I'm like, Sherri, bring all that stuff to the stage. I want to hear every.
You told me that.
Painful. I said, Sherri, all that painful crap that the world is speculating about, but they don't know about. Tell us. We want to know.
You told me that, and there's still some stuff I have not brought to the stage. It's too painful, and I have to figure out a way. I'm doing more because I've been on the stage. You know, sometimes it's the stuff is the painful. You're so raw and tender.
It's like you're not ready. It's not ready.
The thing about stand-up that's so different from, and I'm gonna use God rest her soul, Whitney Houston. If Whitney Houston get on stage and sing "I'll Always Love You," you always gonna cry.
Yeah,
it's the way. But you know, you always can hide behind the lyrics. It don't matter. No matter where Whitney go, that song gonna work. It's gonna make you cry. Stand-up is so personal. Woo. It might work for one audience. It might kill. You might go to another audience and it bombs to high hell. That's why I like doing 4 clubs in a night on a Saturday, because I get to see how I work at the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, the Comedy Union, and the Improv.
And that's how you learn. Like I'll do the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, which is all white, and then I'll go do. I've been doing it before I moved, the Comedy and Magic Club, and then the Comedy Union afterwards. 2 different, completely different worlds.
Yes.
And that's how you know what you're doing. You should keep doing it. When both audiences get it, you're like, that's just me you got. You didn't get black. You didn't get white. You got me.
You got me.
You got me.
And that's why we do it so much. And, you know, it looks effortless when we go up because we've been putting in the work. Yeah. But I thought, you know, watching Dave Chappelle, I just was inspired. I think, you know, it's so funny because Dave Chappelle just makes you think. It was such pain and emotion and, you know, and you saw it and you felt it and you couldn't let go of it because he was speaking so much truth for so many people. Now, Dave Chappelle wouldn't be Dave Chappelle if he didn't have people that was like, now for me, the problem that I had as a female, I don't care for Candace Owens at all.
Nobody does.
Candace Owens has I think she's got a self-hate problem. I think Candace Owens is doing a lot of this for the money, because by being this dissenter and hater of Black people, it gives her a platform that she wouldn't have if she was over here being for her people. Yeah. And so I don't have a great deal of respect for Candace Owens. neither here nor there. But what I do not like is when men reduce women to stanky bitch, your PUSSY smells, you cunt.
Yeah.
Because I have so much respect for Dave Chappelle, I would have loved, and he did address her that she's such an idiot, she be spouting stuff. And he did address the fact that she said George Floyd was not her hero. He said, we're not looking for a hero, but he was, and he addressed it. And I understand he probably didn't want to spend a lot of time on Candace Owens. But when you're intelligent and articulate, I really wanted to see him unpack Candace Owens. Because I feel like when you go to a woman, when you go to our looks and we the stinky cunt, we the bitch, that's like, it's so dismissive. And maybe that's what he was trying to do. I think so little of you, I'm going to dismiss you as a woman and say the very thing that don't no woman want to hear that her coochie stink, you know?
Yeah.
But I just felt,
that's a woman
what
thing.
Do you think?
I think even though he is, you know, one of the greatest, as much as I love him and respect him, there is a problem that I think a lot of male comics, not a problem, a stigma, a characteristic, characterizing that they keep women in a certain category. It don't matter if we're the wife, a fellow comic, a superstar, a nobody. We're always women first. And men in his age group, they keep us in a compartment. You're either going to be cooperative, you're going to be a bitch, you're going to be a cunt, you're going to be talented, but you're still a woman. So it's always like, no matter what we do, we're still a woman first. And a lot of women, a lot of men on his level, all races, they can respect you, but not 100% of the time, not every day, because you're a girl first.
It's so interesting because I was talking to a male comic and he was like, that's not it. That's not it. And he said, you just a woman. And I said, but I am a woman.
Yes,
and I know this
Yeah.
Because people, when I was on The View, when I do stuff now, as soon as I read on my comments, you boxy cunt bitch, because I don't have any hips. So people will go to you boxy cunt bitch, you fat bitch. And I already know I didn't say something you didn't like, but that's all you got. You can't articulately express to me, and it ain't even, you know, in a respectful tone of what you didn't like about me. I got to be the boxy cunt bitch, the fat bitch. As soon as I hear you fat bitch, I'm like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
So to hear, and like I said, again, I don't care for Candace Owens. And I would have just have liked Dave Chappelle to take her to task, not with looks, not with her coochie, you know, and that was the punchline. You know, I don't know if a coochie smell, but if you do, I'm gonna tell you. I'm like Azalea Banks. I got the punchline, but I was like, you got so much, like the way he dressed down Don Lemon was different from Candace Owens.
Yeah, he didn't, because Don Lemon has Don Lemon has a list of things if you want to attack him that you can go for, and he didn't go for any of that. But he went but with a woman, he went to attack the female, the anatomy first. And I find a lot of talented, gifted men. We're men overall, but the men that we're around that we kind of emulate, they don't see us outside of being a female. Like, even though with all the fighting we're doing now, it's hard to be introduced and brought up on stage as, you guys ready for a female? We got an incredible female comedian. And I love being a woman. I love being girly. I love being the only girl around a bunch of men. I'm very feminine most of the time. But when it comes to what I think I can do, just treat me like a human being. You know, why couldn't Chappelle just say, well, how could somebody be so racist and derogatory and idiotic? There's a million words you can use.
It's a million words
without going to cunt. That's where their heart is most of the time.
I listening to Dave Chappelle, I was just like, And here's another example in taking it off of comedy. That's why I was so hurt when Snoop was so angry at Gayle King. Yeah. And I get why Snoop was angry. I get you just wanted to protect the memory of Kobe, and you wanted to protect Vanessa and those kids. Everybody has a memory of Kobe. Kobe was just like sacred. Yeah. So when Gayle, and I understood working on The View, I'm not a journalist, but I understood, like, you know, Gayle having to ask that question, because if you didn't, somebody else was going to ask and get them ratings, and it was a whole big thing. And I understand. But when Snoop went after Gayle and was like, you dog-faced bitch, and I'm going, oh man, Snoop, like, you saying that to me, like, it's a black woman, like, we the same, like, girls are watching you, young girls. And so it did something to my spirit, because, like, And you a wordsmith, Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop is a wordsmith. He ain't no okie doke. So like, tell me what the problem is. Articulate what Gayle King did and why you don't like her. Y'all went after Oprah and Gayle, like, and it was so vile and cruel.
Because
and I felt like you were doing it to me.
I think overall that men think the way to trigger and the way to insult us the most effective way to do it is to attack our appearance. Because I think that men want women to stay in their place. I don't care. Even my closest, I have so many, you and I, between us, male comic friends that love and respect us. But my overall opinion that men overall, most of them, they want us to know where we belong and know when to speak up and when not to speak up. They're accepting now that we're going to speak up regardless.
Yeah.
But only a few years ago, they were kind of like, look, Jackie, just worry about your fingernails and let men do men's work. This is all new. This is very new for men to be like, you're going to have to, you can't, like recently, I was talking to somebody and he commented on her looks and it immediately got me, I got really angry. I was like, look, we are talking about our careers, our jobs. Why are you bringing in, we were doing a Zoom thing and it's a comic that we all know. I won't say his name or her name, but we were talking about what it's like in this business and our mentors and the comics that I've had, men that have mentored me. And he came in with a follow-up commenting on her body, her hips, her figure. And even though we all were cool about it, in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, dude, nobody is there right now. We're talking about our careers and what it's like and COVID affecting our careers. Why you got to come in with a comment about her shape?
About her shape.
And that annoyed me. It was innocent. He didn't mean disrespect, but I was still like, we're always going to be reduced to, well, does she got a fat ass? Is she going to F? What her titties look like? Is she pretty?
It does. I think that's why I don't talk about my breasts on stage, because it's like, unless I choose to, so like when I watch Dave Chappelle, when I watch Snoop, I'm like, we always reduce, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how much money you make or what you have accomplished, we are reduced to the way we look. And it is a putting in your place. And so I felt like I would love to see somebody dress Candace Owens down. I would love to see a man talk to Candace Owens where he's I'm going to let you talk and I'm going to destroy you. I ain't got to shout over you. I ain't got to call you a funky bitch, but I'm going to destroy you with this right here.
Yeah.
And so, and somebody said on here, they said, well, Snoop's mama got in his behind and he apologized and we forgave him. I have my own thoughts on that, but I'm glad his mama got in his butt.
Well, you also got to keep in mind what Snoop does for a living. He works in the field where women, they're not held in the highest regard. And I am a hip hop fanatic, but I also know that women in hip hop are not considered queens. We may be called queens now, but overall, the lyrics that I have danced to most of my life, I still know what the lyrics sound like. So for them to differentiate, and when you're over 50 and you've been doing this that long, like you have any idea? You have any idea how long women have been held in a certain category, and only in the last maybe 5 years, if less than that, that we're like, hey, no more. None of that. None of it is cool. Not even flirting. Cool. You can't say shit no more about that. And the amount of men that I've had say to me, jokingly, although I tell them it's not funny, oh, I don't want to me too you. Can I hug you? I'm like, you understand that that's not funny?
It's not funny. They used to do it. I want to give a shout out to Rocco DeSpirito. I love Rocco DeSpirito, chef.
Yeah, he's a hottie. He's a hottie.
It's true. I remember, it's so funny because when we talk about Me Too, a lot of us comics didn't step up to the plate to talk about Me Too.
Yeah.
In the comedy world. And I remember being at comedy clubs, Jackie, and I won't say comedians' names, but we would get off the stage and they would be over here in the corner. Sherri, come here. I got to give you some material, maybe change that joke around. So I'm like, okay. I come over there and they had a penis out. Penis just out.
What?
Like, and do it to a bunch of, it was just like, that person had a reputation for, you better not go around so-and-so because they're going to have the penis out. Comics who tried something, I was assaulted by a comic. It was like, and not speaking up. Yeah. You know, because in this world of comedy, you're just trying to get on stage. So you like, I'm going to deal with all of this. Yeah. I just want to get on stage. Because if you go to a comedy club, typically, guys who are watching, you will see 10 men and 1 or 2 women. If 2 women, 1 or 2 women. Yeah. On the lineup. And it is that way even still. Even though we have tried to prove, I will go up at the Laugh Factory and it won't be a woman for 3 shows. I'm the only one. And
and if you weren't available, they call me. I'm like, guys, y'all know there are other ones that are in town you can ask, right?
And it's like, and there's other people, women in town you could ask who could share the stage. Yes. You know, and really it being discouraging for me because I go up at these clubs and I go, just to give other young comics, I will call and go, can so-and-so come and showcase? I'm not even asking that you give them stage time. Can they just come and showcase for you? And they make them jump through the hoops. And it's discouraging a lot. We can't give up the fight of trying to get other women on the stage and trying to mentor other women. But it is just, it's a fight. It's a fight, you know. And I think, so, you know, back to Dave, I would hope that Dave would come back when he does his full special. Yeah. And I want to see him really tackle the Candace Owens problem. You know, I'm thinking of somebody else that he did, like when he talked about Jussie Smollett. Okay. Even though he called him Juicy Smollett, he had a whole
a story.
You know, 5 minutes about where he went, about him getting, you know, saying that he was beat up, that he was harassed because of who he was. And
didn't have to mention for 1 second that Jussie was gay.
Exactly. So I would hope that Dave Chappelle, gosh, like I don't have Dave Chappelle's phone number. I'm not in his close circle, but that he would, you know, take Candace Owens to task. She happy he mentioned her. She's so damn happy that she was mentioned in
he
his.
He gave her shine. He gave her shine.
He gave her so much shine. But she even said to him, "I dare you to say all of that to my face."
Are you crazy?
That's what she said.
Do that. Yeah.
Hi, Beignet. Did you get him some Ambisol? Yeah. Could you help him put it in his mouth? Okay. That's Beignet, Jeffrey's mentor. Aww. Ladies, I'm telling you, if you got a son, you got to get some males in their life. Because this boy, you see, he give me 1-word answers. So and he's 15 years old, and he's at an age where I don't want him keeping secrets. So I need him talking to other men, somebody. And so Beignet is his, I don't like to call him Jeffrey's Manny. He's his mentor. Yeah. That comes in and he teaches him how to do his hair with the little brush.
With the brush, it's fun.
Because I asked the boy, did you wash your butt? Mom! I smell something, and it's not my ass. I'm just saying. Apparently, I'm not saying it the right way. So Beignet will talk to him about, you know, wearing deodorant, taking a shower, washing up. You know, I take it how I can get it. And so he's learning. Yeah. So, about how you may be respectful to girls, because there's a point when they're a teenager, they just tune you out. Like, I don't know nothing. Like,
like, Mom, why you? Because I'm a girl. I'm trying to, you know, that's your first authority. I'm a female, Jeffrey. So I'm starting from that.
And let me tell you what a female don't want to be smelling. Okay, y'all come back. Let me tell you what a female don't want to be smelling. Your ass. And let me tell you what a female don't want to see, your toenails looking like eagle's talons. Is that toe jam? Let me tell you what a female don't want to be seeing. Did you piss all over the floor?
Oh my God.
Can you aim for the hole? They don't want to hear it.
If you want to be inappropriate, like, look, Jeffrey, you're going to have to find a hole at some point. Start off with the toilet.
Okay. I tell them all the time, I said, Jeffrey, a girl not going to come back to me talking about Miss Sherri, your son. You're not going to embarrass me. I made that boy clean up the whole toilet. I was like, are you peeing on the wall? Girl.
You have to aim. Woo.
It's so crazy. I tell you, I love being a stand-up so much. I don't know. Kim and I, we do that podcast, The Two Funny Mamas. Yeah. And we posted a clip and somebody said, Sherri, this is no time for fun and laughing.
What? Are you crazy? We are so necessary right now.
It's so necessary. I texted her. I said, we can't have fun and laugh. God help us all. Because you have to, laughter, and it's true, laughter combats stress. Laughter is good for your heart. Laughter is good for your soul. If you can't laugh, you're going to die.
You know how many shows I've done where I get a message privately on social media from someone telling me, Jackie, I so needed to laugh tonight. Thank you. So I wasn't going to come to the show. I came and you made me forget. The amount of stories I've gotten in fan mail saying, I didn't know I'd have so much fun. I needed to laugh. I've been told I should be a t-shirt. I needed to laugh. I get told that almost every day.
We do too. It's a wonderful feeling. I think when I was on The View and I was really going through it my first 3 years, and I was so unhappy because Barbara Walters was getting on me every time I turned around.
Really?
Like yeah. Ooh, girl. 3 years I cried. People don't even know. I'd be at the table and I'd be smiling, but I would cry. Barbara was hard on me, but I don't say in a bad way. It helped me. She helped me find my voice because because she was so hard on me, she helped me grow. So yeah. I look at her being hard on me and making me cry every day as she made me grow. I know who I am because of Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful that if she wasn't hard on me and didn't care, I'd still be talking like this. Hey, everybody. So what was we talking about, girl?
Girl, everything. Chappelle, Candace Owen.
This particular.
Always being labeled before we are given a chance to be humans. Girl, we tackled everything.
Let me tell you, when you turn 53,
okay.
Your brain just sometimes don't want to go with where you're trying to lead it.
How did you feel when you turned 50? I'm going to be 49 in August.
How did I feel when I turned 50?
Yeah.
It was the worst day of my life.
What? That's not what I
But I'm going to tell you what changed it.
That's all you got? Okay.
No, it's not all I have. It was the worst day of my life because I felt like life is over for me. It's 50. I'm in a business where it's ageism. Who's going to want to hire me? Who's going to want to be with me? I'm 50 years old. I felt a little washed up. I wasn't working at the time. All that stuff. And that's why you can't allow those voices. You have to stop them right when they start. And let me tell you something. A friend of mine, he was laying in bed with his husband. And he said, God put it on his heart and said, you got to make this birthday book for Sherri. He wouldn't let up on him. Make this birthday book for Sherri. Typically every birthday, I don't get online. I would stay offline. People wish me happy birthday and I stopped because it was just depressing to me as I got closer to 50 because I just felt like then it's like this.
Yeah.
And he said, God kept saying, get up, make this birthday book. So he found 12 of my closest friends. And he asked them all, unbeknownst to me, to send in a picture of them and me and to give a little testimony of what I meant to them in their lives. And I told everybody, don't give me no gift. Don't call me on my birthday. I'm going to be And I opened up the book and I was mad. My assistant was taping me. And because I wanted her to tape me so I could curse him out on video and send it to him. And I opened up this birthday book. Everybody should have a birthday book when they turn 50. But they should have a birthday book like this. And I opened it up and there were pictures of Garcelle Bouvet and me. And she talked about what I meant to her, her life. Niecy Nash talked about what I meant to her and how I inspired her. My regular friends who work at the bank, what I meant to them. Kim Whitley, and I cried like a baby, Jackie, because I realized in my 50 years of living, I made a difference in people's lives. Yeah. And I wouldn't be who I was if they were the sum total of who I was. And it literally changed my paradigm about turning 50 like that. Yeah. It just changed. And it was like God was saying, I'm not done with you. You said I'm done. I didn't say I was done. Yeah. I'm not done with you in the area of a relationship. I'm not done with you in the area of your career. I'm not done with you in the area of your son. I'm not done. Yeah. And I'm in tears. And I called my friend and he said, God, he kept saying, make this book. And I made it for somebody else when they turned 50 and they cried like a baby. I think everybody needs a book like that to remind them of who they are, why they are here, and that they have a purpose. And so when I turned 53, I put it all over the internet. I'm 53.
Right? I remember your little outfits and everything. You were dancing. Yeah.
I did. And because I felt like, thank you, Lord. I'm still here. Thank gosh we don't look our age.
No.
I've been off sugar for almost 3 years. I've been off soda for 9 years. I'm walking. I'm healthy. I feel great. Am I in a relationship? No. I've been accidentally celibate for almost 2.5 years. I don't know how that happened.
Accidentally?
Accidentally celibate, girl. Woke up one day and like, it's almost damn 3 years I've been celibate. But I just was like, God ain't done. And I'm 53 and literally, pitching a show for myself as the lead, even as we speak, going, he not done. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to give. I got a lot to mentor. I got a lot of stages to get on. So I will say this to you about turning 50. Be excited. Because sometimes stuff don't come to us. That seasoning is there now, Jackie. You done evolved. You done got to a place in your life. You know who you are. When you stand on that stage, girl, you fly. And I watch you. You fly. Your material is rapid fire. You make people think. Women are going, what? Men are like, damn. That is who you are. You got on America's Got Talent and did something to those judges. And when you go on that stage, be excited. Be excited at what God is going to do in your life, in this journey, in this leg. It ain't down, it's up. Because you've been down, it's up. It's time.
Why are you making me cry?
You got it. You got it. And God is going to do. He didn't give you that gift for it to just sit and nobody see it. He did not give you that gift, Jackie. You are one of the premier comics. It's hard to follow you on a stage because your ass get on stage and rip the crowd up. God didn't give you that gift for nobody to see it. You are amazing.
All right.
So the time you turning 50, you better get excited.
I think you're
your butt cheek you may have twitching butt cheeks and a little nerve damage in that lower booty. Your eye may start blinking when you don't want it to, and you might pee on yourself a little bit more. Your Kegels don't work like they're supposed to, and your arches are falling on your feet. Some gray hairs coming in your double chins.
I get it in my eyebrows too, and I'm like, this is not
Get it in your eyebrows. Your memory start flying all over here a little bit. But that don't mean nothing. God ain't done.
I think you're gonna have a church. You ever thought, Esther? You ever thought about being a pastor?
Not at all. I don't want to date a pastor. I don't want to date a pastor. I don't want to be a pastor because I'm a curse when we get off and really tell you about the MF and 50. and when we get off, I'm gonna talk about a lot of sex with you. I got a couple toys I need to tell you about. Now I'm gonna tell you, but there's a couple toys that you use that I'm gonna tell you do not use when you turn 50 because if you have a double orgasm, you're gonna stroke out. Niecy Nash gave me a toy for my 50th birthday. I used this toy. I had a double orgasm and I thought I was having a heart attack. I literally said,
guess what?
I'm gonna call emergency. So I would say to you, I don't need to be no preacher.
Guess what happened to me? It's happened in the last year. I've been getting what they call, and I had to look it up, orgasm headaches. You ever heard of those?
What is that?
That when you're look it up. I Googled it because I was about to climax and a pain ran up the back of my neck and I had to stop what I was doing because the more heightened my body got before it climaxed, the stronger the pain got. And I looked it up, and it's the thing that happens between the ages of 46 and 55. It begins around there. It doesn't happen all the time, but if you're about to really have a strong one, you get this shocking pain off the back of your neck, and it exists.
Girl, I ain't got no orgasm headache. I don't want. Oh my goodness, that ain't good.
Look it up. So I know what you're saying is that it's possible for whatever's if the pleasure gets too good.
Yeah, like you got to watch them orgasms at 50 and older because the orgasms will kill you literally. Yeah. I had a double one and my face went slack. I scared myself. I was like, what is wrong with me? Daggone Niecy Nash and gave me this daggone toy that probably ain't even legal in California. Over in Tijuana it's legal, but this little with the donkey head, you better what? Scared me so bad I ain't took it out again. I just right in my drawer.
Oh really? You put the 50, toy.
You better get excited. You better get excited over 50. That's what I say. Get excited.
I will.
Be excited at what he's going to do. Go in with expectation in your 50s. Have a beautiful. I was waiting for my 53rd. I was gonna have a big roller skating party because I love roller skating.
Do that.
I will, as soon as we get lifted, I'm gonna rent a roller rink, and it's gonna be a private one. And I want you to come and just skate to your heart's content. I love to roller skate.
Didn't Niecy Nash have a birthday party where she was roller skating?
She had a birthday party, yeah, and it was so much fun. And you know, it was just we had a great time, and I want to do it too. And because I love roller skating, it's cathartic for me until I fall and bust my ass. But I just love roller skating. I want to be like one of them roller skaters. You 90 years old, and you just be jamming.
You want to be one of those rhythmic roller skaters.
Yes, I love it, girl. I want to be in a like a skate club. So that's what I say. And I would say, 50, go get yourself a gun. That's empowering too.
What?
Get yourself a gun. Me and Niecy went and got a gun.
I saw the post. It was you, Niecy, and Kim. Where'd y'all go?
Vet Nicole Brown. I took her to get a gun. Kelly. I mean, we all went. We went to the only Black-owned gun store in LA. You know, there's only 7 Black-owned gun stores in the United States.
Really?
7. Yeah, and these people have 2. It's a wife and her husband. He's retired law enforcement, and it's something that we just felt like we want to be able to protect our home. And so we all decided to go get a gun. I got a 9mm car arm revolver. And we're taking lessons. So go take some shooting lessons.
I went to a shooting range in Montana a few years ago. Sherri, I loved it. Loved it.
Tell me if you want to get one. I'm going to hook you up so you can go over there, and then you can come take lessons with us.
The gun that I could actually hold, because I didn't know guns are heavy as hell. And that pushback, the one that I could hold is the Glock, the one that they use on Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, the Glock.
Got comfortable in my hand.
You like the way the Glock felt, because it's funny because Kim Whitley wanted a Glock.
Yeah.
And they were like, your hand size, you don't need a Glock. They looked at your hand size. Because I thought I needed to get a Glock. And they were like, nope, you need a 9mm because it's very light. So, it's very light. So I would say definitely be in expectation and get your ass a gun.
Are you going to get licensed?
Yeah, I already took the test to get licensed. We all took our tests. Kim Whitley, you can only get 7 wrong because the test is really tricky. You can only get 7 wrong. Kim got 5 wrong. She ain't even supposed to get the damn thing. I said, how in the world did you get 5? Me and Niecy got 2 wrong. Yvette got 2 wrong. So I'm like, how you get 5 wrong?
Because
like
God is like,
a doctor get a C. And then, he average operating on your heart.
Yeah.
But you have to go. Octavia, I think I got Octavia. I should be a pimp. I'm getting all the actresses.
Yeah, you gotta have all of us strapped. Like, say something else. Say something else.
I'm telling you, don't come in my house trying to start no mess. If my guard dog, my 130-pound Italian master, don't bite your ass, you better hope I can't find my reading glasses in that trigger.
But that's the joke, though. You're like, look, I'm gonna get my gun as soon as I get my glasses. Shit, you better leave.
Do you know? And this is the thing about coming up with material, people. If y'all trying to figure out how you come up with material, it's your real life. Because when I was married to my second husband, the alarm tripped. And it was the scariest moment in my life. And I say on stage, the alarm tripped. And the first thing I was looking for was my wig. Because God forbid, burglars get in my house and they see me without my wig. They're going to be like, we done robbed Ludacris the rapper.
You told me this was Sherri Shepherd's house.
He told me this was Sherri Shepherd's house. Ludacris then woke up, spitting rhymes. And literally, it was so funny because when my husband went downstairs to investigate, like, what's going on, and I couldn't hear him. I couldn't hear Lexi, my dog. Nobody was barking, and I was in Jeffrey's room. And I realized all I have to defend myself is a wicker trash basket. That's it. That's what's going to stop the burglars between my son and me is a wicker trash basket. And then I'm a comic, so my mind started going to, golly, in all of the movies I see, the woman is naked and she barters her sexuality.
What
with the
movie are you?
And I'm standing there with a wicked trash basket, but I ain't got no wig on. I ain't got no support bra on. And I ain't got no girdle on. So if they come up there, they're going to be like, old lady, if you don't give us that damn jewelry. And Jeffrey screamed. Now, this is what I say on stage. And he says, Mommy, and he was screaming. He was so scared. And I said, shut up. The burglars don't want me.
Oh, girl, you made me have to pee. Ooh,
That's the thing about, that's why I love stand-up, because it's like you take your life and you bring it on stage. And you take people on a journey. And I go, I don't know what else I'd be doing. What would you be doing if you didn't do stand-up?
I'd be an attorney. I mean, I have a law degree, so I'd be an attorney.
That's
but
right.
I would be,
you have a law degree.
But
what
I'd
kind
be
of
a
law
joke.
degree?
A general law degree from a law school. No, but I didn't practice. I did contracts and stuff when I lived in LA. But I would.
You want to do stand-up from being a lawyer?
I didn't like being in an office. It didn't matter what the job was. I did real estate. I taught. I worked nonprofit law school. I don't like being confined in a 9-to-5 office job. There's no freedom. I was always a funny girl, and I would get in trouble all the time in school or whatever for being so energetic and wanting to have a good time. And not the quiet, conservative 9-to-5 jobs are not conducive to somebody who wants to, you know.
It's so funny because being a legal secretary, you being a lawyer, I always found that lawyers have a creative side to them. Every lawyer I've worked for has wanted to be in the arts, in some, whether they were a writer, because Scott Turow, the writer, was a lawyer, whether they wanted to do improv or whether they wanted to be a stand-up comic. I've always met lawyers who were just creative like that. But then they did contract law.
Yeah, there are a lot of lawyers, a lot of ex-lawyers, ex-attorneys who are comics now. There's hundreds of them.
Isn't it something? Like, do you feel that was like, a pressure from your family? Because my family always was like, you got to get a government job. Like, you got to work at the post office or be a teacher.
Yeah, because my family are immigrants, Jamaican people, anybody from immigrant family, they just want you to have a good job.
Yeah.
They would love for you to be a lawyer or a doctor, but their thing is, because my mother and father had one job when I was born, and that was it. And then they retired. And, they don't really understand Americans with dreams and we want to experiment. They're like, look, you need to find a job, sit down, shut up, maybe get married, have a kid, get a dog, a fish, a cat, be quiet, and then die. And the more I heard that, the more I was kind of like, none of that, in that order at least, is not my thing.
Somebody said your spirit needed to be free.
Yeah, I've always been dissatisfied with things that are very like being home all this time, quarantine. I've gotten used to it, but of course, a part of me is dead inside.
It's how we're gonna make, and this is so terrible. Somebody just said they found a 6th person hanging in Texas. It's like going through all this. Sometimes I go, when I get back on stage, it's so heavy. It's so heavy what you got to get on stage, because you got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
And the elephant in the room is racism. And it's a big elephant. And like when you hear about all this stuff, Jackie, how do you deal with it in your head? I had to take a break from social media because it was so much.
I'm not gonna lie. All this stuff is, I think I have a constant veil of sadness that's just over my head all the time. And I'm addicted to social media, like most people, and my phone, because everything is about, Black Lives Matter and people still getting killed by the police in the middle of all this. And that's why I decided I'm taking the bar in September, because I didn't take the bar when I graduated law school. I was too scared to. And now I'm like, how you got to figure out how are you going to contribute to everything that's happening? My contribution is to go ahead and get licensed so that I could, be of use to society and for people who need it. And just angry because every Black man that I've ever had in my life, and on any level, most of them have a story about being treated a certain way by the police.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. And I've been pulled over when I lived in LA, and I remember coming home from clubs many a night and get pulled over because I had a black car and tinted windows and a black person. and just get pulled over all the time for no reason, no probable cause, just because they want to. So it's just a thing that I've always seen and known and has existed. And I guess part of me got desensitized. Like, this sounds sad, but it's kind of like America, they just don't like us for whatever reason. And I guess I got used to it.
It's a rough one. It's a big wound that's open. Mm-hmm. A fellow comic of ours, Jay Farrell, was running in Tarzana right down the street.
Yeah.
And he got pulled over. And they got footage of them putting a knee in his neck.
Mm-hmm.
John Murray said, I'm what? Oh, shoot. Girl, I'm supposed to be pre-interviewing with Kelly Clarkson right now. Kim Whitley and I are going to be on Kelly Clarkson. Hey, John, are they done?
Oh, no, that's wonderful.
We're advertising our Funny Mamas podcast, and I forgot. It's probably over. My publicist is mad as heck because I've been answering the phone. We had such a good time. This was so amazing, my talk with you.
Listen, this is the longest you and I have ever talked, ever. It's like our first date.
I know. It is like our first date.
It is.
As horny as I am, please don't go there. I told you I'm accidentally celibate. I got to get off the phone. I love you.
I love you, Sherri.
I adore you so much, and I admire you on such a level.
Thank you,
my love. You inspire me just when I watch you.
I've been following your career before I knew what the hell I was doing. Trust me.
Get ready.
I will. Mwah. Bye.
Bye, everybody.